guys. I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, The Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from PHINS TALK SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal DolFan Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
Oh, I almost played that again. Stop snoozing. Stop snoozing. Yes, stop snoozing. Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. This is a new week. We are in a new week. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, happy belated Father's Day. Happy belated Father's Day. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on your way in. Yes, yesterday was Father's Day. I wanted to go live even on my channel, but they just had me too busy, man. And by the time I was free at 11 p.m., I just felt that it was a little too late. So I said, I'll give all the love in the morning. Happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers. Happy Juneteenth as well. We had 2 holidays this weekend. Happy Juneteenth as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen, what a weekend, man. It was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you all. I hope everybody had a blessed weekend, but we are on to a new week. At the end of the day, you put old things behind and you go on to adventures for new things. And this morning, we got a lot to talk about. We want to talk about the NBA fight, what's going on in the NBA. Some shocking things happened this weekend. We want to talk about the Miami Heat. You know, all these rumors of who they're going after, who they're going to get. We'll see. We'll talk about that. And we also want to talk about the Miami Dolphins and the biggest story. It still hangs over our head, Xavier Howard. Going to give you all more insight and detail on that situation to give you perspective and understanding of what's going on. And then we'll, hang out, do what we do. But before we get started, I just, it's on my heart right now. I just want to tell somebody who's watching. You may be watching now. You may watch later. You may watch a week from now. I don't know. But it's on my heart to tell somebody who's watching, keep going. All right? Just keep going. Things may not seem like they're working out, but just keep going. Never give up. If you have a dream, if you have a purpose, if you have a desire, go after it. Don't give up. Keep going. And when the road gets its toughest, that's when that breakthrough is its closest. All right. So I just wanted to lay that on somebody's heart, all right? When all the odds are stacked against you, and it's like, well, maybe this just wasn't the right time for me. Don't believe it. That's whenever it's the closest. So keep going, keep going, keep going, all right? That breakthrough is on the way, so keep going, all right? So with that being said, man, let's keep going. Let's keep going, y'all. Listen, and shout out to everybody in the comment section with the Happy Father's Day. Same to most of you all who are fathers, who are playing a father figure in someone's life, in whatever capacity you find yourself being a father for anyone. Happy belated Father's Day to you. But what's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is feeling good. Make sure you let your friends and family members know about Miami sports music. This is Clock Blockers with Stephen D. This is the takeover with TD. Stephen trusted me enough to take over the channel while he's on a lovely vacation with his lovely wife. And we're going to do everything that we can to live up to the expectations that he set and the big shoes that we have to fill. Excuse me, when he's here. Got my coffee, so I stopped snoozing. Oh, Esteban want to finally show up. Why you late? Why you late, Esteban? You snoozing, huh? You a snoozer. See, you're getting on me, but I've been on time every morning, and you've been late every morning. Esteban. Chef Juby up. Chef Juby up and on time. Chef Juby here, ready to go early in the morning, man. Anywho, let's go ahead and get it started, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, of course, we're going to always have interaction. Before we get to the Dolphins, we want to go ahead and get through the NBA news. Man, Milwaukee Bucks versus the Brooklyn Nets. Did anybody see the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Brooklyn Nets? Wild and crazy game, man. So where are all my people? The Nets are going to win the NBA Finals. I'm just checking to make sure y'all still around. I'm just checking to see. I'm trying to understand. Cloud Life said, TD, why am I not a mod? I'm sorry. That's on Steve. That's on Steve, and you're gonna have to ask him when he gets back. I don't have those permissions to change mods. All right. But you should be on my channel, Cloud Life, and if not, something wrong. So let me know. All right. But what's up with that, man? The Nets are gone home, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Durant couldn't get it done, shooting air balls at the end of the game. No gas left, played every minute of the game. That was a wild rodeo, man. That was a wild rodeo. It's crazy. Nets, a good team, paper team. Now, let's be honest. If Kyrie Irving wasn't hurt, they would have won that series. But, hey, he wasn't healthy. It is what it is. I mean, next man up. Next man up. It is what it is. So your team wasn't good enough without Kyrie. So they are going home. The Milwaukee Bucks are on their way. See, let me help y'all understand something. Let me help y'all understand something. There are only 2 complete teams left in this. Well, before we even get to that, what's up with the Philadelphia 76ers and the Atlanta Hawks? See, I tried to tell Finsanity last night, Atlanta Hawks will win this game. She said there's no way Embiid loses in 7. I said, Finsanity, time will tell, but trust me, Atlanta Hawks will win this game. She didn't believe me. Time has told. Time is told. Now, there's only 2 teams left in the playoffs that are actually complete teams. Let's see who can get it. Name the teams who are actually complete teams, the 2 teams that are left. Name the 2 teams that are left. Complete teams. Complete teams. Let me know what y'all think. Ben Simmons' 3-point pack was busting last night. Terrible. Easily, if Irvin and James Harden wasn't hurt 100%, they would have easily beat the Bucks. The problem with them beating the Bucks, the problem is this was the year to get your championship. Now teams are going to get a little bit closer to you. Teams are going to be a little bit closer to you. They're going to go make moves in the offseason and get is geared up. You're going to have another team with 3 superstars. I mean, your teams are going to get closer. So you're running that risk. Somebody said Milwaukee Bucks, Atlanta, and Milwaukee. You got one of them right. You got one of them right. The last 2 complete teams are the Milwaukee Bucks and the Los Angeles Clippers. And that's without Kawhi for Los Angeles. Those are the last 2 complete teams. Jazz are sitting at home big time. You won series late. Clippers already knocked them out. And let me tell you what I mean by a complete team. The reason why the Suns aren't a complete team because they're going to need Devin Booker to put up 40 every night to win. See, when your superstar has to put up 40 to win, you're not a complete team. You have a superstar and all the help around them. That's not a complete team. Luka Doncic, same thing. He's home. Donovan Mitchell, Spidey Mitch, same thing, and he's home. And there's only 2 teams that are complete teams where the superstar doesn't have to be the best player every night. The best player on the team doesn't have to be the best player every night. And the same thing with the Atlanta Hawks. I knew that they would win the series, but they're too reliant on Trae Young. They're too reliant on Trae Young. This is where the road ends for Trae Young. They lose to Milwaukee because they're not a complete team. That if they take Trae Young out of the game, the rest of the guys can beat you. Or if you just let Trae Young do everything and shut down everybody else, it's not good enough. Milwaukee, yeah, they got Giannis Antetokounmpo. But they also got Chris Middleton. They got Drew Holiday. Those guys can make plays and get it done. Even if Giannis is neutralized, they have a complete team and they have the depth. Los Angeles Clippers, Kawhi goes out. It doesn't stop the show. They still balling out. PG, game 7 of the series last against the Jazz, PG wasn't the man. Terrence Mann puts up 39 points. Reggie Jackson has 30-point games. Marcus Morris put up 15 to 20 any night. Nicholas Batum, 15 to 20 any night. The last two complete teams are the Los Angeles Clippers and the Milwaukee Bucks. And that is my finals prediction. Clippers, Bucks. Clippers already lost the first game with Devin Booker going off again. It's the same thing that they've done in the first 2 rounds. Feel out the stars, start to learn how they can neutralize everyone else. So now they're going to let Devin Booker get his 40 every night, and then they're going to make sure they shut down everybody else and win the games. Milwaukee Bucks, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to attack Atlanta. Let Trae Young do what he do and win the series. In today's NBA, it's not about the superstar that gets all the points, 40 a game, and he's cooking. That can only take you but so far. It's the same thing I say about the NFL with these great quarterbacks. They ball out and give you all the stats in the regular season. They win the wild card round, and then they maybe win the conference round, the divisional round, but then they get to the conference round and they choke up. Or they got enough juice to get them to the Super Bowl and they choke up. It's the same thing. You're too reliant on one guy. I mean, I want y'all to think about it when the playoffs first started. Luka Doncic, the Clippers are done, down 0-2. Luka cooking. They ain't got no answer for him. They didn't have no answer for him all series. He's at home right now. Donovan Mitchell, he's not Luka. He's even more explosive. He's at home right now. At home. The Nets get injuries, and now it's all on Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is that man. Did you see what he did and won that game? Next game, he's at home. It always runs out for the player that burned. I'm getting 40 and 50 every night. It runs out. It always does. So who's next on the docket? Trae Young? Devin Booker? Mark my words, they're next. You typically have complete teams in the NBA Finals. NFL, Lamar Jackson. Look at what he's doing in the regular season. Oh, my gosh. Playoffs. You run into a complete team, they send you home. Look at what Josh Allen is doing in the regular season, and he's making sparks in the playoffs. You run into a complete team, they send you home. This is how it works. And why is this important? Why do I bring this up, especially for the NFL? Because we fall so in love with these quarterbacks giving us all the life in the world, balling out in the regular season and getting us 2 rounds just to have you sitting on the couch when it's all said and done. We fall in love with it. We're the biggest fan of it. I got a great quarterback, but that same quarterback has you sitting home when it matters most. When it matters most. Sitting at home. This is what they do. That's why you build a complete team. You don't need the best quarterback. You don't need the best basketball player. You just need good ones all up and down the roster. Dak Prescott, you're right. All these yards, all balling out. Send him home. I'll take it a step further. Russell Wilson, when he had a complete team, look at what he did. Soon as he got his money and they couldn't afford a complete team, he's still balling out regular season. First round exit, second round exit. Ain't did nothing past that since. But we ignore these things. We'd rather the best quarterback over a complete team in society today. That's how we look at it. That's what we do. We want the better quarterback instead of the better team. Our mind is so backwards, and we wonder why we don't hoist the trophy. And that's not just Dolphin fans. That's the fan base. That's fan bases of every organization, just about. This isn't just for the Miami Dolphins. All the fan bases, just about. They rather have the big-time flashy quarterback instead of a complete team with depth on top of that. We got to learn. It's not always about the quarterback. Yes, you want competent play. Yes, you want high-level play at the position. But why do we also ignore the fact that the quarterback position is the most dependent position on the field? The quarterback position is the most dependent position on the field. In order for a quarterback to be successful, there are so many factors that quarterback relies on. Does he have time to throw the ball? Relying on the O-line's protection. Does he have a good running game so that it can balance the defense from attacking him? Does the O-line open lanes for the running backs? Does he have the receivers that aren't dropping the ball, relying on them to catch it? Does he have the receivers that run great routes, relying on them to get separation and make life easier for him to see the field? The most dependent position in football. Does he have a freaking competent center to even give him the ball? Does he have a good coach? The most dependent position in football. And we pay it the most. And we glorify it the most. That's interesting to me. Very interesting to me. Do y'all not see how backwards that is? The most dependent position we glorify the most and we pay the most. Some could truly argue that it's the easier position to play. And I know it's not easy, but what I'm saying is, if you do put a great team around them, it could be the easiest position to play. If you got 6 seconds to throw the ball and they ain't got to worry about a pass rush, you don't need pocket presence. You don't need instincts in the pocket. You think about that. If you got the greatest O-line in the league, say your quarterback struggles with pocket presence in the pocket period, everything got to do with a pocket, he struggles. If you got the greatest O-line, he don't struggle anymore because you don't see the struggles, making him great with pocket presence, right? You see how that works? Ain't that crazy? It could be the worst quarterback with pocket presence in the NFL, but you get him a great line. Oh, he's one of the best in the league in pocket presence. He never gets sacked. You see how backwards it is? How people they don't talk about that. You get him the greatest receivers in the league that get separation and run elite routes. He's always looking at a target wide open. He doesn't have to be as accurate. He could be off a little when the receiver has time to make adjustments. But he's great. The completion percentage is high. Do y'all see how that works? And Mike Bryan in the comment section just made a great point, which is so insulting and embarrassing. He said a quarterback needs one decent season to get a max contract. He ain't never lied. He ain't never lied. All you got to do but it has to be at the right time. Let it be like year 3. Oh, he just had a great year because the team finally put everything around him, hiding his deficiencies, and he gets the deal. And then when he gets the deal and they take those things from around him and those deficiencies creep back up, they're scratching their head like, what's going on? It's like one of the most idiotic things to me. But nobody cares. Pay the man. Pay the man. Pay the man. Absolutely makes no sense. Absolutely makes no sense. But it's how they've conditioned us. The media has conditioned us this way, and I'm not one of these propaganda people, but the media has conditioned us. Why have they conditioned us? Why do we glorify the quarterback so much? Why is the only thing that matters is the quarterback position? It's because that's all they talk about. Any conversation with a football team, it starts and ends with the quarterback, with a little bit of sprinkled in content for players that complement the quarterback, but right back to the quarterback. And the truth is, it's lazy journalism, it's lazy analysis, because they really, truly don't know enough about the rest of the teams. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We are all Miami Dolphin fans. We've heard it in the mainstream media. I remember 2 years ago, Shannon Sharp on TV. I remember. Yeah, Miami, they've been doing some things. I like what they're doing this, and they got that kid. Jisicki guy. He got talent. Don't even know how to say Mike Gesicki's name. And the only reason that you even mention him is because you were a tight end, so you kind of know the tight ends in the league. That's it. They don't even be knowing the people. They don't do their homework. They're on TV talking about quarterbacks, and that's all you hear as a fan. So that's all you glorify, and that's all that matters. We've been conditioned. We've been conditioned this way. And I get it. Media is powerful, y'all. Why do you think they spend trillions on advertisement? Conditioning. You want your product sold? Put it in front of people's face. There could be 10 people that think the product is a piece of trash, but there's one that say, hey, let me try that. All you got to do is put it in their face. It's just that simple. Ian Baller, you're correct. He said they have researchers to tell them what to say. They don't do much homework at all. They have a sheet. They come in 5 a.m. They read in their sheet. Then, I see here that, Devin Booker was the first player to hit 40-plus points in the playoffs 2 times in a row. And then they get on TV. And if I'm not mistaken, based on they make it seem like they knew this that. Based off of history, I don't really remember anybody who's ever done that. I think Devin Booker might be like the first person in history. I can't recall anybody who's ever done that. Yeah, because your researcher told you. Because you couldn't recall nothing anyway. But this isn't about them, because I'm happy for every analyst on TV. Get your paper. Get your money. But what I'm saying is we got to make sure that we start to realize what's real and what's not, because they're messing the narrative of a game up, and it's causing fan bases to think delusionally. I know they call me delusional, and that's when I'm being a fan. But I immediately say I'm geeking right now. This is my fandom. But in sports in general, man, if you want to build a team and build it the right way, that's why I know that we're building it the right way to a degree, because there's a lot of people, what are we doing? Why would we do this? Why would we do that? I'm starting to realize the more the fan base saying, what are we doing? Then we're doing it right. Because the fan base has the conditioning. These front offices know, hopefully, they know what's going on. They know what's real and what's not. They know what's real and what's not. But their hands are tied sometimes. What some of y'all may not realize is Russell Wilson has been rumored to be traded for 3 years straight. But they can't get up off of him. It's a PR disaster. Now, people will argue, oh, you done lost your mind if you think that Seattle going to trade him. Man, they ain't trying to trade Russell. You don't know football. They've been trying to trade Russell Wilson for 3 years now. But they're trying to do it in a way where the PR situation isn't terrible. I remember when he re-up his deal. They waited to the last minute to give him the money. Russell Wilson told them, if you don't re-sign me right now, then I'm not giving any discounts when it comes up next year. They waited to the very last minute. They listened to teams. They just couldn't get what they wanted because they had to give away a team would have to give away like 5 first rounders and pay the man $40 million. And they didn't want to settle for 2 or 3 first rounders from another team. It was like, oh my gosh, man, this is a tough situation. They waited to the very last minute to give Russell Wilson the contract. And they came out national television and said, you know, the reality is we got 3, big time defensive players and we can't keep them all. The very next day, they cut their best defensive player. A week later, they trade another one. And then they re-sign the third one. They couldn't even keep the defense intact. And what has that done for them so far? Wild card, second round exit, at best. At best. And they know this. They know this. They said it before they gave him the deal. We're trying to stay competitive. The general manager came out and said, we're trying to stay competitive. That's why they were listening to trade offers. And when the rubber met the road, they just couldn't get off of them. It would have been a PR disaster, and they wouldn't get in the asking price. They weren't getting the asking price. That would have made them feel a little better about it. So there's an organization who's stuck with a quarterback, making top dollars and can't afford the team around them that they like. And this continues to happen in cycles, y'all. It keeps happening. I've been preaching this for 3 years now, the same theory, and I've been proven right every single time. The only quarterbacks that's going to win a Super Bowl that's great are the ones on a rookie deal. And if you're not on a rookie deal, it's because you're taking less money. I've been preaching this for the last 3 years, and I get all the pushback in the world, but it's been proven for 3 years straight. Patty Mahomes on rookie deals. Tom Brady making pennies compared to the salary cap. You can't have $40 million cap hits on your quarterback. You just can't. John D says Seattle and Wilson won 1 Super Bowl, should have been 2, and haven't done nothing since. What did they have when they won those Super Bowls? They had a great defense. As soon as Russell Wilson got that first contract, Legion of Boom, dismantled. But we want to ignore that and we'll glorify Russell Wilson. We want to ignore that and glorify Russell Wilson. We want to ignore that and glorify Russell Wilson. Had they given Russell Wilson 15% of the salary cap and kept the Legion of Boom together or their defense together, they would probably have one or two more. Facts you can't ignore. Facts that you can't ignore. Tom Brady is the only quarterback that knows take a pay cut and you'll win it all. And when you keep winning it all, you're going to make more money off the field than you would ever make on the field. Tom Brady out here playing chess while all these guys playing checkers. Now, don't get me wrong. Playing chess is a risk. So I ain't knocking any of these quarterbacks from getting a bag. Go get your bag. See, I ain't knocking any of these quarterbacks from being what some would call selfish, because it's you against the organization. They're going to make a business move, so you make a business move. That's the weird thing about it. Don't get me wrong. If you got a chance quarterback to get $100 million a year, I don't care if the salary cap is $110 million. If you can get $100 million, go get your cash. I know that ain't possible, but y'all know what I mean. Go get your cash. Just know that you ain't going to win. And that's fine. You got your cash. I'm with that because I would. But Tom Brady also, but as a fan, we have to think opposite. We can respect their decision, but we have to really put our hat on and be like, man, that's going to kill us. What can we do to not let that kill us? That's what we should be thinking. That's what the conversation really should be. But no, we don't do that. We just glorify it. Like we think that having the highest paid anything is a badge of honor. Like right now, we want to make all the fan base want to make Xavier Howard the highest paid corner just for a badge of honor to say he must be the best because he's the highest paid. Like y'all tell me I'm lying. Some of the fan base want Xavier Howard to get his money just so that they could declare they have the best corner in the league because he's getting money like it. And that ain't doing nothing for you. They want that badge of honor. Anytime the Miami Dolphins give somebody a huge contract, we feel proud. Like, yeah, we got the best player in the position. We paying them the most. I've never understood that. We think that's a win. We think that that's a win. But what y'all failing to realize is we're taking away great general manager moves. The real win that you should be excited about is the fact that Chris Grier locked him in on a long-term deal and got more production than the deal was worth out of it. That's the real win. Wow, I can't believe when Chris Grier gave him the deal, it was a high deal, but he's way surpassed that deal. Man, Chris Grier is a beast. That's what we're supposed to be celebrating. The fact that we were able to sign a guy on a 5-year deal and get more production than the deal is worth. We're supposed to be like, yeah, that's going to help the rest of our team. We got more money to spend in other areas, and we got an elite player. That's what we're supposed to be celebrating. That's what we're supposed to be happy about. Chris Grier is a genius. He got an Xavier Howard for $12 million per year. Yes, we can make profit now. We can advance on this. That's the celebration. We're just backwards in our thinking. Imagine getting Patrick Mahomes for $10 million a year for the next 10 years. Oh my God. Yeah, but we don't think like that. We want to automatically wipe out the great general manager moves by saying pay the man. Pay the man. Give him whatever he wants. Give him whatever he wants. We have to be wiser. We have to recognize where we are winning the game, and we want to take away our advancements and just fold. Makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense, y'all. Does that make sense to y'all? Y'all putting that together? Our thinking is backwards. We don't even care about the salary cap. Don't even care. And let me take it a step further. I got to give a special shout out. Let me give y'all some perspective. I got to give a special shout out to Dolphins Wire. They put out an article, and this article I'm very appreciative of because they put things in a perspective, and the fan base needs to understand this. According to Over the Cap, and this is an article by Dolphins Wire, so shout out to them. According to the Over the Cap, which tells you how much money a team has, right? The Dolphins currently have $5.2 million in salary cap. At their disposal. They got $5.2 million in salary cap at their disposal. And Xavier Howard is scheduled to be paid about $12.1 million. Now, do you think that Xavier Howard just wants like $2.5 million more to give him more than Byron Jones, put him at 14.5? Do you think that's the case? Do you think he only wants like half of that? No. He wants to be up there with the rest of those guys like Tre'Davious White making 18, Marlon Humphreys. Now, these guys actually average like 19 and 20, but this year's cap hit. Tre'Davious White, 18. Marlon Humphreys, 18. Jalen Ramsey, almost 18. He want to be up there. So even if we gave him all of the rest of our salary cap that we have left, even for this year, going forward, he'd still be under them. Even if we gave him the entire $5.2 million, he would still be under every single one of them. That's number one. Now, don't get me wrong. They can maneuver things and make this and that, but now you're talking about debt. See, everybody say, oh, the salary cap is fluid. You could always manipulate it and move things. That's a lie, ladies and gentlemen. Well, people need to be honest when they say that. Yes, you can manipulate it and move it, but you're taking on debt. That's what manipulation and moving the salary cap is. You're taking on debt. You're avoiding years and having dead cap stretch out for future years. That's debt. That's debt. And yeah, some teams do it because they feel like they're in win now, but it's debt. Let's call it what it is. Okay? At some point, you still got to pay it. You just rather pay it later or whatever. No, it's debt. That's what the Bucs are doing. They're kicking the can down the road for 3 years from now. That's why Tom Brady has like a $7 or $10 million cap hit this year. They're kicking the can down the road because they know when Tom Brady goes, they're going to be trash. They're going to rebuild. They're going to rebuild. Their books are set up to rebuild in about 3 years. But they're going for it now. I respect that because they know what their end result is. But for us, we're trying to be long-term successful. It's not the case for us. So he's not even going to make the top money anyway, even if we gave him all the rest of our money. Now let's take it a step further. If we gave him all the rest of our money, ladies and gentlemen, how are we going to pay Javon Holland? How are we going to pay Liam Eichenberg? How are we going to pay Hunter Long? Do you know that those are 3 guys who probably will be starters on our team this year that we still haven't paid? Yeah, I bet you didn't know that, Miami. I bet you didn't know that, Dolphin fans. Javon Holland, who all of us could probably agree will be our starting safety. Liam Eichenberg will be our starting tackle. And Hunter Long is probably going to start or get major playing time. How are we going to pay them? They have yet to be paid. They have not been paid yet. So what you want to do? Y'all, all y'all who say pay the man, talk to me. What you want to do? You didn't know that, did you? Ian Baller said, I knew that. Cool. Most people didn't. We have yet to pay all 3 of those guys, And that $5.2 million is a part of that. And we're saying pay the man. That's why our situation is very grim. And that's why you hear the reports now that Xavier Howard is weighing his options. And one of those options might be to request a trade. When it's all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, X is about to request a trade. And I'm going to tell you something now. He probably already did. It's just that, good job, Miami. It ain't out in the public. Other than them saying he may want to request a trade. He probably already did. But guess what? How much trade interest does he have? Jamek said $18 million for X. If he don't want it, let's see his bluff. How you gonna pay that $18 million? How you gonna pay that $18 million? Even this year, you got $5.2 million. What, you gonna backload it? No contracts you want to backload. Because if he get hurt, now you're on the books for him for years to come. How you gonna pay 18? You ain't even got the money to pay 18. He making 12 right now, and all you got is 5.2 left. How you gonna change his annual to 18? That'd be interesting to know. Very strange why we haven't paid them yet. Nah, angry homie. That's typical, man. Sometimes you don't even pay sometimes it'd be the details in the deal. Like they're working out injury clauses, they working out, it's always those second and third round picks, and sometimes fourth, because they have a little bit more investment in the team, and their agent is trying to fight for the little perks, all the little perks, man. Because the second, third rounders, they're the guys who are getting not much money, but they know that they're going to play a major role on the team potentially. So the agent's always fighting for those little perks, those little bonuses, or those little things that can guarantee this or that, and that's usually why they aren't signed yet. That's typically why. But at the same token, those guys are typically signed at a higher rate. Usually your issue is with like a first rounder or something like that. But Javon Holland, that makes sense. Top of the second. But I think the fact that Liam Eschenberg knows that he's going to be a starter, his agent is trying to do everything he can. And Greer is at an impasse like, we got these guys. We got to figure out these deals. And then we got X over here tripping. We still got Mike Gesicki. We said, y'all see oh my gosh, look at what we're dealing with right now, a salary cap situation. And we got all these young guys on the team who are going to be up every single year for contracts. Every single year, they're going to be up for contracts. It's going to get worse from here. And let me tell you, I'm going to be honest with y'all. This is why I feel like something big might be on the way. Because the only way, in my opinion, out of this situation is a big trade. They legitimately, if they went and got one of those quarterbacks and they offloaded X and they offloaded a few other players, all will be well. Bless me. That's what it is. We shall see. It's going to be very interesting. But this situation, man, I think it might even start to look worse before it looks better, because here's another thing to consider, man. These are your rookies, and all three of them are going to play a vital role on this team. You're going to need Liam Eichenberg. You're going to need Javon Holland. Javon Holland is really that dude. And Hunter Long, I'm telling y'all. Something's on the way. And it might include X and Mike Gesicki. It might include X and Mike Gesicki. I don't know, man. This is going to be interesting to play out. But once one move is made, the dominoes will fall. Once one move is made, the dominoes will fall. And I'm going to say it starts with Mike Gesicki. How do they feel about Mike Gesicki? What are they going to do about Mike Gesicki? But it's very interesting you go get a Hunter Long where you got him. It's going to be very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what happens. What's up, EM? I see you tuning in. And I'm going to tell y'all this too. I know I'm bringing this back up, but here's the reality. You never know. They might still package Mike Gesicki, Xavier Howard, and maybe a first rounder or something for Deshaun Watson and keep Tua. And let Tua play this year and let Deshaun Watson's situation do what it do. And now they have assets next year. Because imagine this. Imagine Tua balling out this year, but you also have Deshaun Watson under contract. Now you have a Deshaun Watson in 2022 who is eligible to play. And if Tua balled out, now you got a bigger trade asset. Deshaun Watson in 2022 will be worth more than Deshaun Watson in 2021. So I'm not saying for Deshaun Watson to be a Miami Dolphin and play, but bringing him in just in case Tua don't work out. And if Tua does work out, now you just made a profit because he's going to be worth more in 2022 than he is in 2021. And don't let the league come down and end up doing something because then you ain't even got to pay all of the salary. There's several things that can happen out of this. Several moves that can be made out of this. I'm not ruling out Aaron Rodgers either. I'm not ruling out an Aaron Rodgers situation either because we got to get out of this situation with X and Gesicki. And the easiest way to do that is taking both of those guys and making them a part of a deal. With the team who has the money, like a Houston, like a Green Bay, if they were to move on from Rodgers. Colts, Jags. I mean, there's some teams out there. But I appreciate Dolphins Wire dropping that article because it puts things into perspective. We only got $5.2 million and we haven't signed 3 of our rookies. And even if you gave X every penny of the rest, why would y'all think that'll be enough? You think X is saying, oh, well, give me $15 million a year and I'll be good? His agent ain't stupid. Y'all hit that like button. His agent's not stupid. His agent knows. You had 10 picks last year. You were considered for Defensive Player of the Year. You were all pro. Ladies and gentlemen, give this man his 18, 19 million. Reset the market. 20 million. His agent knows that. Now, if X want to be nice, if he wants to be nice, because we did pay him after missing full seasons before, just saying. If he wants to be nice, he says, Miami, give me 16 annually and give me some guaranteed money. Let's roll. Hey, make it happen, Greer. If X wants to be nice and say, I want to take a discount for my team and I love my team, get that man his 16 million annually. But I'm telling y'all, the agent's in his ear saying, I can get you 1920. What are you talking about? I can get you an extra $10, $11 million guaranteed. Think about $10 million in your life. Yeah, you've already made money, but to keep a high lifestyle, to enjoy your life, live it out, have the finest things, you want to just walk away from $10, $11, $12 million worth 3 or 4 extra million per year on this deal? And not to mention, by the time you're 31, any major injury, they're going to release you or trade you. We're fighting for your last good deal, your last good 3 years, because we're going for 3 years worth of guaranteed money. I'm trying to get you a 5-year, $100 million contract, $60 million guaranteed. That's what his agent's saying. And you're thinking about taking a discount. You're thinking about going 5 years, $80 million. Don't do it. You're 5 years, $80 million, $40 million guaranteed. No, don't do that. Don't do it. And X is making a decision. And I get it from a personal standpoint. He better go get his money. X, take every penny you can get. From a team standpoint, no, man, you got to do what you got to do. Like I tell y'all, stand for something or fall for anything. Angry Homie said, you got to remember, Florida has no state income tax. Makes a big difference when you're talking millions of dollars. And that's what his agent's telling him too. The opposite of what you're saying, though. The agent's saying, listen, don't do that less guaranteed money. You take that extra $4 million a year, and it ain't no taxes in Florida. Your future gonna be set. In some states, even if you made $20 million, you're really only making 15 when they hit you with the taxes, plus the federal taxes. So you ask Miami for it all. And then when they try to trade you, I'm going to make sure they trade you to one of these teams that don't have tax anyway. I'm going to make sure they trade you to Dallas. I'm going to make sure they trade you to Jacksonville. I'm going to make sure they get a deal with the Bucks and trade you. I'm going to make sure I put you in a state with no taxes. That's easy, y'all. They're going to get that done. They're going to get that done. So just because a state don't have state income taxes, that's just more money for him. Because y'all also have to understand, you can't count a player's money when it comes to taxes. Some of these guys ain't paying the taxes you think anyway if they got it set up the right way. Oh, I paid $10 million in taxes this year. Some of these guys that's supposed to pay $10 million don't, because they wrap it up as a contract in their business. And they took a loss. They went and bought them a yacht for their business, and that's a loss. Oh, offset. I ain't paying them taxes. Listen, these guys got some of the best accountants. They straight. They straight. State taxes make a huge difference. Of course it does. But he could just go to another team, like the Jacksonville Jaguars, like the Dallas Cowboys, even Tampa. Man, imagine Tampa. Ugh, that'd be nasty. All I'm saying is we got to make smart decisions as an organization. All this narrative of pay the man, you ain't even got the money to pay him. And if you did pay the man that kind of money, that means we kicking the bucket down the road. We would have officially kicked the bucket down the road. And we're starting to pick up debt. We're starting to pick up debt. I still want to see if they updated Jerome Baker's contract yet, because I'm still trying to see the breakdown. I'm still trying to see the breakdown. And they still ain't listed. I'm still waiting to see the breakdown. I'm still waiting to see the breakdown of his salary, because I want to see how they structure it. Because that $5.2 million that we supposedly have, that's because Jerome Baker is taking a cap hit of $2.6 million this year. $2.6 million. But his annual is going to be $13 million. starting next year. But I suspect they're going to push some of it into this year, because if they don't, then they're taking on Jerome Baker's contract for face value head first starting next year. 13, 13, 13. And I'm like, man, I thought that's the purpose of signing the early deal too, is to spread it out more. So I'm going to be it's going to be real interesting to see how that works. I want to see the breakdown, and they still haven't released the breakdown of his contract. And that's why I'm like, why not yet? So I'm telling you, the Greer is freaking scratching his head trying to figure this out right now. Greer is trying to finagle, maneuver, and figure things out. All in the meantime, Byron Jones sitting back. Hey, ain't none of that, none of my business. Byron Jones like, ain't none of that my business. That's all of their business. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I got my bag. I put my work in at Dallas. The Dolphins, they coveted it, and I got my bag. And shout out to everybody watching right now. We hit 100 people watching. That's the first time on the morning show since I've been hosting. We've reached 100 people watching. So I told Steven, we're going to get 100. One morning, we're going to get 100. And we finally had 100 people watching. They said 100, back to 99, but we had 100. Y'all hit that like button, man. We want to get 100 likes if we can, all right? Punch that like button. But it's just interesting to me, man. We're going to have to figure it out, man. I'm going to be live on my channel later. And I'm going to be on TD Sports Talk as well today, and my other channels with other teams. Today is my daughter's first day of work, so I'm going to be working with her so she can do what she got to do to help me run TD Sports Talk. So every summer I hire my daughter, basically give her a little summer job. She's 16 now. I give her a summer job. So she be doing stuff like y'all know I don't do thumbnails and all that stuff, but she does that stuff. She shares the videos. She, markets, do all that good stuff, man. So just teaching her about work and how to be responsible. So check me out on TD Sports Talk today. I'll be doing some work over there and showing her the stuff she has to do. But yes, man, because I know the time is running out. We're about to get out of here. We're coming up on an hour. But ladies and gentlemen, we got to be smart. I know we haven't talked about the Miami Heat. All I'm going to say is, and we're going to talk more about it tomorrow, all of these rumors, the Heat going to get Luka Doncic, they getting Kawhi, they getting Dame Lillard, Kristaps Porzingis, they're talking about. Hey, at the end of the day, Bam Adebayo needs to be better. He needs to become a better shooter from the perimeter. I don't care that, he showed he can make some. He has to be more consistent. He has all the paint work. He has the rebounds. He has the defense. But to take that next step, he needs to be striving to be more of a Kevin Garnett type with those 20-foot jumpers, bang, hitting those 20-foot jumpers. It will change the Miami Heat all the better. Bam Adebayo is going to be the important piece. Bringing in another superstar to try to mask that is not the answer, ladies and gentlemen. I am telling you, Miami Heat fans, get a point guard. That is it. And not one of these Luka Doncic point guards that's going to take Jimmy out of his game, take Bam out of his game. They're just jacking up everywhere. Get you a solid point guard who knows how to run the show, who isn't trying to be offense first, but who can score. And Bam Adebayo hit that 20-footer, it's going to make all the difference in the world. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. That's what you need. That's about all you need with the good point guard. Sometimes going for everything, you're not having a good team. You're just putting stars in place to try to mask the fact that you're not running an offense and playing great basketball. Bam Adebayo, improve the jump shot, get you a real floor general, a younger version of a Rajon Rondo. Yes, I said it, but not Ben Simmons. He can't make no free throws. He can't. That's what you need. TD, we need a true center. Bam is not a center. He is a 4. That's my point. That's why I said he needs to aspire to be like Kevin Garnett. That's why I said he needs to be more like Kevin Garnett. And it's nothing to go get a center that see Bam Adebayo. I agree. He needs to go to the 4. You need to bring in a center that ain't an all-star, not no superstar center. You just need a decent, good center. Because the ball isn't going to go through them. It's just so that Bam could come out of the paint and you can still get rebounds. Pick and roll, Bam, 18-footer. Bam, 16-footer. Bam, 12-footers. Bam, pump fake, drive to the basket, slammed in your face because now you worried about that jumper. Now you got to double off Bam, kick it back to the point guard. Jimmy do his thing as he does his thing. I'm telling you, you already invested in Bam. You already put the money in him. And he does have the potential if he becomes a better jump shooter. How many times y'all done seen Bam on a pick and roll, get the ball at the 20, nobody around him, but he looking for a guy to come off the screen to pass? Like, you are wide open. Turn around and hit the jumper. Turn around and hit the freaking jumper. It's embarrassing. Anytime you got a big man wide open and they just looking around on who they can pass, get him off the court. And Bam, you can't have off the court. He need to be able to hit that jumper on a consistent clip. Wide open. The man need to put up 1,000 mid-range jumpers a day. None but mid-range drills. He'll get better. I'm telling y'all, it's all about putting the work in. That's why Jason Kidd, late in his career, Jason Kidd was the trash of all trash in three-point shooting. The last 7 years of his career, he was a three-point shooter, a good one. Whoever thought in 2021 Rondo would be a good three-point shooter? You talk about one of the worst ever at the beginning of his career? Put the work in, just like J. Kidd, three-point shooter. That's what it is. He got to go put that work in, do nothing but it. Hit them jumpers, man. You know how deadly it is if you could pop off 3 mid-ranges in a row? Ooh, your whole team on a whole new level. That team is on a whole new level. That's all it is. People, man, we need to go get Dame Lillard. We need to go. No, y'all trying to go for it all like in the sense of stalling everybody else. You go get Dame Lillard, Bam will be even less of a threat. Even less of a threat. You want to be able to say, we're going to run plays for you, Bam. You get Dame Lillard, that man gets no plays other than, oh, they doubling Dame to the basket, kick to Bam. And that's too infrequent. You need a nice, young, solid point guard. Not a superstar point guard. A really good one who don't turn the ball over, who can play the pick and roll game, who can kill you, can get to the basket, and can hit a mid-range jumper himself coming off that screen. And it ain't got to be the best doing it, just a real solid one to keep a defense honest. So on a screen and roll, they either have to switch, and now your point guard got a big man on him and he's taking advantage of him, or they ain't going to double the point off of Bam if his jumper nice. See, that's where you start creating mismatches. But in today's game, Bam we ain't worrying about him hitting mid-range, and if he does, we'll live with that. So they double these point guards. That's why your point guards can't get off. That's why the Heat point guard, that's why Jimmy got to control the rock too much. And that's a problem because he'd be tired at the end of games. Last year in the finals, Jimmy was just tired. Just like KD them was the other night. They were just tired. See, when they got to do everything, it's unfair. It's unfair, man. Esteban said, drop that link for EMTD. Man, I honestly got to get out of here. I'm over time. But later, man, I'll drop a link and we can all hang out, man. But I actually have to get out of here. I'm like 2 minutes over. But anyway, man, I'll stop right there. All right. This is Clock Blockers. Thank y'all for tuning in this morning. I'm happy that we reached 100 people watching earlier. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. We want to get 150 likes if we can. It is what it is, man. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Love y'all. Thank y'all for helping me have another great show. Another great show. We will see y'all soon. Clock blockers, we are out. Peace.